Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220 KHTS. Those watching online, Facebook Live.
Absolutely.
Sam Silva, your station, right?
Yep, that's my Facebook Live.
And also KHTS is out for just a quick moment. It's going to come up in a minute. But talking to Sam Silva, HomeSmart. He is with Homes for Heroes. He promotes the program.
Absolutely.
Shortly after 9/11, Homes for Heroes was established to start a way to give back to those that already give back.
Yes.
So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So it's all about real estate. It's all about selling your home.
Yes.
So let's talk about Homes for Heroes. Who's it for?
You have your military, your veterans, both retired, active, and veterans, of course. Military. You have police officers. You have fire, nurses, teachers, any of your local community people that give back.
First responders.
First responders.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They do an incredible job for us, so it's my way of saying thank you.
So it's your way of saying thank you. So how are you able to? And so typically in a real estate transaction, there's fees that you get from the seller as a buyer's agent. So you represent the buyer.
Yes.
Right? And the buyer.
Homes for Heroes works on both sides, though.
So yes. So on the buyer side, someone comes to you, represent them. They don't have to pay you, right?
No.
Nope. They don't pay you. The seller typically pays them in almost every transaction I've seen. But you give a percentage of those proceeds back to the hero you're representing.
Yes, 25% of the gross comes back to them after escrow closes as a check from Homes for Heroes Foundation and, of course, courtesy of me.
Yeah, and that's a pretty big amount.
Yes.
That's 50 basis points on a 2% commission, a little more on a 3%. That could be a sizable amount of money, especially with housing values that are going up and up and up.
Absolutely, Fred.
Yeah, and on the listing side, same thing?
Yes. Yes. On the listing side, it works a little bit different. We do a credit, but I still give the extra 5% to Homes for Heroes Foundation, which helps the soldiers with housing when they come back and need assistance.
So that 5%, it goes back to this organization.
Yes, it's homesforheroesfoundation.org. So if there's a soldier out there that needs assistance with staying in their house, they just go to that website and basically plead their case.
Let's talk about this market right now. That's what you do every day.
Unbelievable.
You help people. A lot of activity.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of activity. People are overbidding, and as a lender, you have to be concerned with the value.
Yeah, the appraised value.
The appraised value. So as a selling agent, I make it a point to make sure that the client understands that if you overprice a house, there's going to be negotiations later on.
Yeah, which is, especially if it's overpriced and the appraisal doesn't come in.
Yes.
And if it doesn't come in, even if the person's paying all cash, they're going to go, do I really want to buy this house, and complain about other things, right?
You could lose a deal on that.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it. People want to go places. They want to move. It's a stressful situation already. And that's the last thing we want to have to worry about negotiating at the end.
Yeah.
Is the value right? So, it's something people have to think about.
Let's talk about a couple tips for the actual home buyer that you're representing.
Okay.
Get pre-approved.
Pre-approved. Always get pre-approved first. If you don't get it pre-approved, it's like going into a candy store and saying, well, I want that.
But you don't have any money.
But you don't have enough money. So it's like we go shopping for houses. If we go shopping for houses, I find $1 million property. Oh, you fall in love with it. We go through it. You're already picturing your house and yourself in the house, you and your family. And then it comes to, okay, we go to the lender. And the lender says, I'm sorry, you can only afford $500,000. I'm not doing my job if I allow that to happen. Because I'm not your fiduciary. I'm not protecting you. And I'm not a good person to deal with because I'm not listening to what you're able to afford.
It's important what you can afford.
Yes.
Let's talk about the next thing, inspections.
Inspections are sometimes challenging.
What do you run into when it comes to inspections?
Inspections, sometimes termite.
Now, on a VA loan, you have to get a termite.
Absolutely.
So that's really important to know.
Absolutely. You need a termite.
But let me just tell you, isn't having a termite really important? Because if there's damage, it's the only time people spend money on termite is when they sell their house.
Yes.
Get that termite damage fixed.
Yes. And actually, I have talked to a few inspectors that will actually do it before I do listing. And I'm offering this to my clients coming up.
Yeah.
We'll actually do an inspection before we do the listing so we know if there's a nightmare going in.
Yeah, why not?
Because a preemptive strike is better.
Yeah, plus the seller knows what he's getting into.
Exactly.
And it could be, here you go.
Exactly.
Make a decision. Do you want to buy this house? Here's the termite. Here's what we'll do. Here's what you need to do.
Exactly.
All up front.
Exactly. Have it all up front. That way everybody's ready to go. There's no nightmares. And like I said, it's a stressful situation when you're buying or selling a house. We want to keep that stress at the lowest level.
One of the biggest things is the seller disclosure statement.
Mm-hmm.
If you're selling a house, put everything on there you could think of. And this is why. Every time I sell my house, I put everything on there.
Yes.
But in the houses I buy, some of the windows won't open. I'm like, just told me the window doesn't open. You disclosed it, and I'm not going to complain when I try to open the window. I'll get it fixed.
Exactly.
Right?
You know, someone lives in a house for 20 years. They know what's going on in a house.
They know everything that's going on in the house. That's why seller disclosure statement is so important.
It is. It is. And it's important for the agent to go in there and to show they're not inspectors. So they can't say, okay, I think this is this. Otherwise, they run into legality issues because we're not inspectors. We're able to say what we smell, what we see, what we hear, but we're not able to diagnose what it means.
And I'll argue about one thing on that.
Sure.
I will say, if you got a true seller that's open and authentic, and most of them are, way better than the realtor, only because they will tell you everything. The realtor's going to smell, feel, and that's it. And hopefully the buyer already knows that, or the buyer will the seller will walk through with the real estate agent and say, should I talk about that? Should I talk about that? Should I mention
when in
that
doubt,
stuff?
disclose.
Yeah, exactly.
When in doubt, disclose. Because when you don't disclose and you have knowledge, there's a lawyer sitting around the corner waiting for you.
Well, one of the biggest challenges we have is when a seller does not live in the property, they don't have the same disclosure if they're an investor.
That's true.
Because they don't know every quirk.
That's true.
Yeah, so be careful of that. We're going to jump to a quick break.
All right.
But I'm going to have you back, and we're going to talk about the pre-approval process.
Fantastic.
With Dave Cantrell. But before we go, those that want to take advantage of the Homes for Heroes program with Sam Silver here in the Santa Clarita Valley,
go to samsheroes.com, samsheroes.com, or you can go 888-3-HEROES, 888-3-HEROES, or 888-437-637. And that's an 800 number anywhere in the country. Call me.
But thanks for coming in.
Thank you,
We'll
sir.
see you in a minute.
I appreciate it.
Hope you enjoyed this edition of the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.